Welcome to syGlass Academy. Today we're talking about the region of interest tool, which is represented by a cube in your toolbar. The region of interest tool can be used to create masks and meshes of your data in syGlass. To draw a basic ROI, hold the trigger on the back of your controller, drag a square out, and release. The region of interest you draw can be altered using any of the corners of the square. You can move the region of interest by using any of the dots in the middle. Open your menu and you'll see a checkbox that reads Display ROI Dimensions. If you've used your voxel wizard, this will bring up accurate dimensions of that region. So let's say we want to create a mesh of this piece of the data. I'm going to just readjust my bounding box so it's around the piece of data that I want to make a mesh of. There's an option in your menu to adjust the smoothness and precision of the mesh that will be created. Start with precision a little lower, and you can adjust these as you go to see what works best. The checkbox below reads Separate Connected Components. This will create a new mesh for each piece that is separated in the region of interest bounding box. For now, I'm going to keep it unchecked and do one whole mesh. I'm going to toggle the channels on my wrist menu to make sure that I'm going to create a mesh of the right channel, and this will only pop up for data sets that have different channels. And then I'm going to hold down the button that says Create Geometric Mesh until the loading bar is full. So you'll have an option once the mesh is created to save the selection or discard. If you want to mess with the precision and smoothness, you can do that by discarding the surface and reloading another one. I'm going to save the surface on this one. Next, I'm going to take my transformation tool and bring up the radial menu. On the right, you'll see an option that says Transform Surfaces Only. If I pull this up, you'll have a little bunny on the top of your controller to show that you're going to move only the surfaces, and I can just reach in the data and grab out the mesh that we just created. So I'm going to move this one out of the way, and let's try something different. I'm going to bring up the radial menu on my ROI tool and reset the region of interest back to the original data set, and use the regular transformation tool so I can move my data again. All right. So for the second option, I'm going to draw another region of interest, a little different this time. And this time we're going to pull up the radial menu and lock it. When you lock the radial menu, you'll get a different looking tool in your hand. This is the carving mode. You can adjust the size of the carve by scrolling the touchpad with your thumb, and you're going to use the trigger on the back of your controller to draw. So what I'm going to do is highlight the pieces of this data set that I want to make a mask of. Making a mask is a way to get a very specific piece of the region of interest highlighted first and then create a mesh of the mask that you created. Carve mode will highlight what you want in the mask. Pave mode acts as an eraser and will let you eliminate the pieces of data that you don't want created in the mesh. So right now our data is kind of turning a rainbow color because there's multiple channels in this, and whatever is in rainbow right now is part of our mask. If you pull up the radial menu, you have an option to hide the mask, and now I can go back in with my Pave or Carve and add and subtract things that maybe I didn't want or did want in the mesh. And after we're satisfied with what the mask looks like, we can create a mesh. So I'm going to go into the menu, and I'm going to check the top checkbox that says Create Meshes from Mask. I'm going to adjust my smoothness and precision. And then this time I want to separate the connected components and make each piece of this a different mask. I am just checking to see which channel we're creating this from to be sure first. And then when I say create geometric mesh, I'm going to save the selection because I like how it turned out. Use my transform surfaces only in my transformation tool. And now I can reach into the data and pull out my separated components of this mesh. You can see each one has its own mesh now, and it did not create a mesh of anything that was not highlighted with the mask first. So if you unlock the ROI, you can reset the whole data set again, and now I have my meshes and my regular data set. If you just switch back to the regular transformation tool, the meshes and the data will move together. That's all for the ROI tool. If you have any questions, visit syGlass Academy or contact us at info@syglass.io. Thank you.